Okay, so let's get right into it. There's some interesting buzz going around about Dolores Catania.
Yeah. Reports saying she might be joining the new Real Housewives of Rhode Island.
Exactly. The talk is maybe renting a summer place up there.
Right. And potentially not even starting as a full-time cast member straight away.
Oh, okay. So like a friend of role first.
That seems to be the idea, yeah. See how it fits, see if she, clicks with the group and the show's dynamic.
And maybe become full-time if it works out on camera.
Precisely. Kind of a way to test the waters.
Now, this potential move for Dolores, and there are also these other reports about Melissa Gorga maybe looking into wife swap.
Right.
Some sources are apparently seeing these as, well, pretty significant signs.
They really are. The perspective seems to be that this is like another indicator.
An indicator of what?
That Real Housewives of New Jersey might be completely dead in the water. That's the phrase used.
Wow, completely dead in the water. That's strong. What's the reasoning behind that?
Well, the main thing seems to be the time that's passed. It's apparently been a whole year since the last season. Still no word, no announcement about filming a new season.
Okay, so that long silence is seen as a major red flag then.
Definitely. That's what the report suggests.
So if RHONJ is potentially in that state, what are these sources saying about the remaining cast? Like, who do they think has, staying power?
The view seems to be that, really, Teresa Giudice is the main one. That she has the kind of fan base that would follow her pretty much anywhere.
What about others? I mean, Margaret Josephs, wasn't there talk she wants back?
There was. But the feeling from these sources is, while she might want to return, she probably wouldn't be positioned as, like, the lead of the show.
Why's that?
Well, partly the whole dynamic with Teresa, obviously. But also, the production side reportedly always saw Teresa and Melissa as the sort of two main pillars.
And everyone else kind of had to pick a side in their drama.
Pretty much, yeah. Which brings us back to Dolores, actually. The reports make a point of saying she mostly stayed neutral through all that conflict. Didn't really get dragged into taking sides.
Ah, interesting. So that might make her a good candidate to move to a different franchise. Less baggage, maybe.
Could be part of the thinking, yeah. Now, there is another angle here.
Okay.
Andy Cohen. He actually commented on this whole idea of a known housewife joining RHORI.
What did he say? Did he confirm the Dolores thing?
Not exactly. He said the report was a little overstated.
Overstated, so maybe cooling it down a bit.
Yeah, but he didn't completely shut the door on the idea either. He said he's open to it in principle.
But it depends on specifics.
Right. He emphasized it really depends on who's in Rhode Island. So very non-committal on Dolores herself.
Gotcha. And did he give any description of what this Rhode Island show might be like?
He did, yeah. He called it Italian with a capital I.
Okay.
And said it has early Jersey vibes. The sources suggesting Dolores could move seem to be linking those very dots.
Like it's a deliberate strategy. Move someone from the early Jersey days to capture that specific feeling.
That seems to be the interpretation.
Yeah.
Leverage those early Jersey vibes he mentioned by bringing in a familiar face from that era.
Someone who wasn't maybe as caught up in the later, more intense drama.
Exactly. And the hope, presumably, is to create a sort of built-in audience.
Get those original RHONJ fans interested in the new show by having her there.
That seems to be the reported logic. Bridge the gap, try and bring some of that audience over.
Okay. And just quickly, while we're talking about franchise health, did Andy mention Real Housewives of New York City at all?
He touched on it briefly, basically said there's no real latest.
So, status quo.
Yeah, they're in between seasons. They're always casting. He sounded maybe a bit more upbeat about it.
How so?
He said it still has juice.
Right. That sounds a bit different from the picture being painted of RHONJ by those other sources.
It definitely highlights a contrast in the current buzz around the different cities.
So, summing up then, we've got these reports suggesting RHONJ is, sadly, maybe more or less done, as one source put it.
With cast potentially looking elsewhere.
But then we have Andy Cohen's comments, a bit more cautious, maybe downplaying specific rumors, but confirming RHORI's vibe has that Jersey connection.
Yeah, and leaving the door open for cast crossovers in general.
The positive note from the sources, though, was the potential to see Dolores in a new iteration.
True. A fresh start somewhere else, potentially.
So here's something to consider. If housewives we know and, follow start moving between cities, showing up on different franchises, how does that change things for you as a viewer?
Does it make it more exciting, like a big universe?
Yeah.
Or does it kind of dilute what made each city feel unique in the first place?